more combinations. All right. So initially I was working high, middle, low on the sides. Now I'm working cut, flows to thrust, flows to cut combos. Right, so I've got two sides I can play. Right, thrust, cut, thrust. There's my quickie. Right, thrust, cut, plunger, thrust, cut, thrust. All right. Now I can put these together into some long combos, right? Boom. So I come, boom. All right. And my dog is barking like a mad fiend for some stupid reason. All right. Next piece of the puzzle. Let's think about this. I'm being very Georgian today because if I can do this stuff thrusting with Georgian, I can do it thrusting with Bolognese. Or I can just fight Georgian using a Bolognese sword because I can be a Georgian like that. So, where can I thrust from? Right, I've got my descenders, my rounds, rising, rising, flat. So let's think about how I cut from each of these, right? Boom, I'm here. That turns into a cut. Can I go the other way? Once I have my point in, I can go this way or I can go this way. As long as I have this to deal with the sword, right? So if I'm here, right? And then it becomes, or notice, buckler becomes active protecting the sword, one end or the other, right? I have my straight down, right? This is easy, right? That's got me both ways there. And if I need to here, right, I come here, and then this becomes, things are trapped over there. So I've come here, we've come here, let's come here, right? So something's happened, right? I've cut through, thrust from under, and again, go that way, no problem. That way, no problem. Now, right, I'm here, come in. That's easy enough, and that doesn't move much there, right? Now, the trickier part becomes to go from here to there, and my descending thrust, well, from here, that's easy, right? But to get from here to here is a little harder. And I may or may not, right, as I make these changes, right, I'm here, boom, I've come around my buckler. Depending on where they go, right, if I have to check up, I'm probably not going to make that cut. Right, if I have to check up, I'm probably going to go that way. Bring it through. And this is where the length matters. Georgian sword is shorter than the Bolognese. So I have the room, as this comes in through here, to make this cut. One thing that was pointed out is that the ideal length for my sword should be, and this is apparently a method of measuring your sword for Georgian that has been passed down among children and fathers, preparing wooden sticks for kids to fight with. The length of your stick for your sword should be, if I hold my hand out like this, right, so somewhere between this grip with just my fingers bent, right, and the middle of my face, and this and the middle of my face, right? So my ideal sword length for Georgian would be between my thumb mark and where it actually is. So strangely enough, we ended up putting this just about exactly where we want it. For somebody shorter than me, it's probably going to be a shorter sword. be a useful experiment to play at some point. And yet again goes to the fact that using a sword that is too long for you can cripple your technique. If I were to try and do this same play where I've come in here and I want to cut to here with a Bolognese sword, right? This is longer, it's gonna hit, I'm not gonna get that clearance. And it damages my possibility of technique, right? If I play here, I'm Georgian and I'm here, right? I can either play on the outside, right? Or right? Or on the inside. Have that option. Something to think about. Right? Boom. Coupe. Thrusting into a coupe, saber style. But now I've got a buckler, right? Boom. Which makes it safer. But everywhere I thrust from can turn into a cut. Now let's think about all the options for cuts that turn into a thrust. Right? I have the ever-present once, twice, that's an obvious, right? I come through, boom, boom, or on that side, right? I can play these, right? These cuts become boom, and the point's left on. Anything that I come through, right? That I come through. Now, that actually, what I did here this last time is a really good thing about a question about active buckler and support. I have ways I can support here. I can come through. Boom. I can support my hand against a low cut. Right, so if you see this, right up here. Boom. Or, boom. So I've drawn through this cut, right, and then that's supported differently. Right, if you look at how I played this, right, I'm here, boom, boom, and I come in to clear the way with the buckler again. I have that option, right? So my descenders cut short and turned into thrusts. My flat cuts, the same. All right, I come here, thrust, here, thrust. And this becomes an interesting question. Elashvili implies that when I make these, I'm here like this. A lot of the old film that I'm finding does not show this. It's showing this, that these rotate together. Which means that this, for this, actually makes more sense. So let's think about what happens if I'm here, right? All right. Here, and I want to turn this into a thrust. All right. I have those options. They're all right there. So my risers turn into hanging descenders. My descending cuts turn into risers. My horizontals turn into this. Now, that's for if I stop the action of my blade. The other piece of cuts I've got, right, are I come, right, I'm here, boom, boom, right, boom, boom, and I don't halt, right, boom, boom, right, boom, boom, and that turns into thrusts as well. So Elashvili talks a lot, exclusively about cuts. He minimizes the thrust big time. And we know from other stories, other evidence, that in friendly things, in the parakeable level, the showing off, thrusting is minimized because it's dangerous. We also know that in the serious fight levels, thrusting is a go-to. Talk to Vakhtang, He's got some great stuff, some papers on this having to do with knife stuff. Definitely we need to get this translated for people in various places. But in general, for what we're doing, we want to cover the cut and the thrust. But I've come to the conclusion that the easiest way to teach this is to start with the cut. And I have some revisions to some things. Before, right, we were making our guards like this. Now, right, I'm turning both arms. I'm not turning one. This is actually stronger as my body stays in alignment, which I think becomes a key as well. Anyways, that's enough of my babbling. I think I have a 5-year-old who wants to play swords with Dad.